It's Wednesday, the 2nd of June. Sorry I've been absent away. Obviously the heat wave is not everyone for six, acclimatising to the new seasons. I think summer, safe to say summer is here. For how long, we don't know. It's a British weather. Anything can happen. Could be raining tomorrow, could be raining next day. But the weather itself is scorching. My arms are sunburned, absolutely sunburned. I look like a lobster. I'm the prodigious, the prominent Professor Johnson at PNG, Proclamation News and Gatherence. I'm so overwhelmed of all the support I've been getting. You know, for the people listening, I've actually come in all over social media, Facebook, Castbox, YouTube, LinkedIn. You know what? It means an awful lot to me. It really does mean a lot to me. All you guys coming in supporting the show, it means a hell of a lot to me. Thank you ever so much for tuning in, guys. I am overwhelmed. People give me gifts. I've got a great friend of mine to give me a pair of Gucci loafers today for everything I do, and he's been one of my best friends for a long time. But I have like a couple of friends I speak to on the phone because, you know, I'm deep in study, looking after the democracy, our families, you know, supporting the democracy. Hi there, Hanavish. How you doing? My YouTube link is exactly the same name as what it is here, buddy. You can see me live on screen. I'm really, you know, I might invite you in on for a video conference. If you add my YouTube and let me know, I can always add you in for a video conference. Before entering the UK roads, you've got to remember, when you drive your car, even like you listeners that think you know how to drive, you've got your driving license and you think you're safe. But there's innocent people on the road. What you got to remember is driving under sleep deprivation. Maybe you've done a long shift at work, but you need to sleep before you enter your vehicle. Sun as well, especially now, the heat. Especially very, very important, you know, feeling lethargic after a day's shift, that you have a rest before you drive home, because you could kill an innocent person on the road. There's probably more accidents on the road in the summer than there is in the winter because of sleep deprivation. You know, you're dehydrating your body of water, you'll get your fatigue in your body because of the sun. You've got to be very careful. Do not enter your vehicle under sleep deprivation, alcoholism, or narcotics, making sure you and your passengers on board have seatbelts, safeties adapted to the car seat. Maybe making sure babies have their seat and their seatbelt adapted to the car seat and buckled in. It's important, you the driver, to make sure, because you might, you know, especially if you've got vulnerable children, they don't know the rules of the seatbelt, don't know the rules of the road. Checking your engine oil and water coolant tank, make sure it's topped at maximum level, make sure MOT is updated. Check you got sufficient fuel on board, because you could break down on the motorway, you could break down on an A12, you could break down anywhere, causing congestions. There's a lot of incidents that happen on the road. You got roadworks, you got car incidents, you got congestion, road closure, lane closed, weather incidents. I mean, let's talk about these cognitive steps. You think I've just said 5 things there. Do you think anything further in your nose? You've got car incident. What could a car incident cause? It could cause another incident, a pile-up. It could cause congestion, roadworks. If you take the wrong destination, it could cause you missing the birth of your newborn child, perhaps, or your son's birthday, or going to work because you've gone down where the roadworks has just been put in place. Same as an incident. You can miss anything. So you always check your destination before takeoff. Get stuck in congestion again, be late. I'm late for work because you went down the A12 when you should come around the back roads because you didn't check the roadworks. You didn't check the maps to see what's happening. Or a lane closed. Imagine if you live in a village, only one way in. You live at the end of, you know, end of the town. There's nowhere else to turn back, and that lane's closed. You can't get down there for 3 miles. You got to walk. You park your car and walk 3 miles. Weather incidents. Could be a big weather incident with the sun, quite possibly. The tarmac could melt your tyres, pop your tyres. Make sure your tyres aren't bowled. Check your wing mirror centre mirror before acting, turn into safe, sufficient directional choice. That's why it's important to pop by my show. I'm such a critical thinker. I think outside the box, well outside the box. I've got cognitive skills. Cognitive skills. When I just read out, we're going to check their incidents, roadworks, congestion, road closure, lane close, weather incidents. You didn't know what to think past your nose. A lot of people, not disrespecting everyone, because you're all part of the aristocracy social elite. You're both observed and preserved, but you got to think past the box. Instant. What could there be? Could be someone that's driving up the road under the influence of alcohol or narcotics or sleep deprivation because they didn't listen to my show. They didn't take it on board. So whatever I say, I'm always right, because out of the 50 people or 1,000 people that listen in, at least 80% have done these silly incidents in their life. I hold my hands up. I was in a vile relationship coming out of it. I had a road incident, dangerous driving. So everyone has all these stupid incidents in their life, Everyone has incidents. You've got to just listen on board. You've got to abbreviate it to your friends, especially young generation growing up. In Colchester, there is a lane blocked, A12. It's reported today at 1:48. 1:48, only a couple of hours ago. Lane blocked, accident, traffic is coping well. A12 southbound at junction 27 A133. Chamberlain Way Avenue of Remembrance roundabout, traffic is coping well. Lane 3 of 3 is currently blocked. Rush hour after work hours, this can be colossal coming home congestion. Chelmsford, A414, very slow traffic. In a construction area, travel time is very slow. On the A14, Bell Hill both ways around the Bell Pub. In a construction area, travel time is 10 minutes. Temporary traffic lights are in place, affecting traffic between Chelmsford and Malden. Reported today at 7:34 a.m. Which constituency are you guys in the world? In the UK. This is UK road map at the minute. So anyone in the UK, please give me your advice. I'm going to look up towards Luton. Actually, Enfield. We're near Enfield. M25. Earlier stalled vehicle. Very slow traffic. Congestion to all lanes have been reopened. There's a van stalled on the M25 clockwise after junction 23 A1 J1 South Mims, congestion 2 before junction 22 St Albans London Colony Lane 1 of 4 was closed. All lanes have been reopened. 2nd of June 1:43 p.m. I am a absolute phenomenal speaker, aren't I? Absolutely. Very, very, very etiquette with style and pragmatic with sense. Absolutely. Say no more. I need a little lady in the background playing a violin when I say stuff like that. I am phenomenal. And there's no two ways about it. I need to blow my own trumpet sometimes because no one else will blow it for me. North Street, traffic problem, heavy traffic on North Street before B194. Nazing mode, 2nd of June 2021 at 2:24 p.m. First reported. We're going to move on to we've got some criminology, we've got some UK politics. So you guys can intervene with some constructive criticism. Perhaps it's in your constituency where things are going on. Maybe you need new infrastructure, new roadworks in your area. You've got potholes, or the hospital hasn't got enough equipment, and you want to abbreviate it past and stress it past the show. Please do. Proclamation News is proudly sponsored by PSS Alarms. Very ethical and pragmatic works carried out. All areas covered, including central station monitoring provided, all work done according to insurance requirements. This is a friend of mine's company. He's carried out works in Harry Kane Stepmother's out of Hertfordshire, Potter's Bar. He's carried out etiquette works in Essex, such as Casbah Restaurant, and many more big businesses. Installation and maintenance of intruder alarms, fire alarms, CCTV, all works guaranteed and certified to SSAIB standards. 24-hour call-out service. can provide CCTV for pubs, clubs, restaurants, or new business setup. Secure your business. Mention Professor Johnson for an extra discount. Secure your home, secure your business. Your safety and priorities within your business are paramount. So think safety, think first. Secure your equity. We're coming into a new summer. We want that summer transformation on your bodies. Relax-UK.com. Relax UK Limited, health, travel and wellness products since 1997. UK relaxation shops selling various ranges of products from relaxation, travel, well-being, biofeedback, sleeping and natural products. So if you want that new transformation of your body, then please get looking on that website. Better your mentality. If you're suffering from anxiety, depression, look at bettering your health. Wetherspoon's boss denies facing shortage of EU workers. The boss of Wetherspoon has denied claims his pubs are facing staff shortage caused by Brexit. It comes after Tim Martin was quoted by the Daily Telegraph as saying he favoured a more liberal visa scheme for EU workers to tackle shortfalls. Mr Martin, a vocal Brexit supporter, told the BBC he had always favoured an Australian-style system which treated near neighbours preferentially. There was no recruitment issue other than in small coastal towns, he added. Many hospitality businesses have struggled during the pandemic despite the extensive government support. And firms are reportedly now struggling to recruit as they reopen. According to trade group UK Hospitality, Brexit has added to the problem as more EU workers return to their home countries. According to the Telegraph, Mr Martin said a more flexible visa system for EU workers could help ease the pressure on firms. The UK has a low birth rate, a reasonably liberal immigration system controlled by those we have elected. As distinct from the EU system, would be a plus for the economy and the country, he told the paper. America, Australia and Singapore have benefited for many decades for this approach. Immigration combined with democracy works. However, Mr Martin later told the BBC the comment has been taken out of context. He added that Wetherspoons was not struggling to recruit, and in some towns, such as Northallerton, jobs at its pubs were oversubscribed. Figures from the Office for National Statistics in April suggest that more than 1 in 10 UK hospitality workers left the industry in the last year. James Reed, Chief Executive of the Reed Employment Agency, told BBC Radio 4's Today programme the firm was advertising 275,000 new jobs in the sector in May. When he added them up, we had more jobs in May than any month since February 2008, he said. Hotel chain Best Western said it could not open some of its venues at full capacity during the staffing shortages. It's becoming restrictive. Boss Rob Patterson told the BBC one hotel didn't have the cleaning staff to be able to sell all of their rooms. It's becoming restrictive on trade, and at a time when we are investing so much on meeting safety precautions and needing more staff to do that. He said uncertainty and a fear of being repeatedly furloughed have driven some employees away. They don't want to be in the hospitality industry that's shutting down, and opening up their jobs are always at risk. It's not just about pay conditions, said Mr Patterson. UK Hospitality has urged the government to encourage UK-based workers to join the sector. It is also asking the government to renew its list of shortage occupations and consider a visa scheme for workers who should not qualify under the points-based system. Over the past 12 months, Wetherspoons, which has 871 pubs, has rescheduled the number of staff by about 6,000 to almost 38,000. Essex men banned for entering Bedfordshire after with a bus shot at. They have been banned from stepping foot in the entire country. 2 Essex men have been banned from stepping foot in the entire country after several Arriva buses were reportedly shot at. The pair, both in their 20s from Essex, were believed to be targeted Arriva buses in Luton, Bedfordshire on 4 occasions over a 3-month period between March and May this year. They were arrested on suspicion of criminal damage and possession of an offensive weapon following damages. The arrests come after River buses shot at by what believed as being a pellet gun. On each occasion, the damage was caused to the bus window. Dangerous firearms, they're going to get some time in prison on it. I don't know how much time because it's not an intent to kill, is it? But attempt for stupidity. They have subsequently been released on bail with a condition not to enter Bedfordshire unless for pre-arranged appointment. The spokesperson of Bedfordshire Police said 2 men have been arrested in connection with a number of incidents in Luton in the area in which River buses were damaged. River bus drivers only try and do their job. All bus drivers only try and do their job. Making extra work for the police, ruining the bus driver's career. They're putting a lot of stress on the community. That is a bad community standard of a human being. Man suffers head injury after being punched outside Basden Festival Leisure Park Club. The victim had reportedly intervened between 2 men having an argument. The man has been rushed to hospital after being found unconscious following a punch outside the club. Essex Police said they were called to a Festival Leisure Park in Basden at around 2:30 a.m. today, May the 30th, with reports of man believed to be unconscious outside Unit 7. The victim, a man in his 20s, had intervened between 2 men having an argument, a friend and an unknown man, before the unknown man allegedly punched the victim on the side of the head. The punch caused the victim to fall to the ground and sustain a serious head injury. He remains in hospital in a stable condition. Police have described the suspects as last seen running near the Holiday Inn. He is described as a short white man with tattoos in his 30s and wearing a blue jacket. PC Alec Franklin investigating said the Festival Leisure Park was busy and there were lots of people in the area around this time. I want anyone who saw what happened to contact us today, if possible. Anyone who was in the area at the time and saw what happened is asked to police on a 101, quoting incident 142 on the 30th of May. You can submit a report online to use live chat button, speak to an online operator between 7 a.m. and 11. Alternatively, can be given anonymously on 0800 Crime Stoppers, 0800 555 111. Thank you all for coming in. I hope you're enjoying the show, Proclamation News and Gatherence. This is absolutely prodigious. The effort I put in time and time again. Listen in, you're part of your aristocracy social elite, guys. Hamish, where are you from in the world, my friend? Boris Johnson promises more school catch-up cash in damp Scribrow. Prime Minister Boris Johnson said there'll be more funding coming down the track. Prime Minister has promised schools in England there will be more coming through after catch-up funding plans were accused of being a damp squib. Head teachers had said they were hugely disappointed by the £1.4 billion COVID recovery package, which breaks down to £50 extra per pupil per year. Most of the funding will be tutoring to make up for lost learning. Boris Johnson said it would give parents the confidence that their children would be supported. But the plans so far are much more limited than the £13.5 billion that the Education Policy Institute (EPI) think tank had calculated would be required to catch up on lessons distributed by the pandemic. Tutor sessions, the catch-up plan with £1.4 billion extra over 3 years, in addition to the £1.7 billion already announced, will include the £1 billion for 100 million hours of tutoring and 250 for the teacher training and development. They're always pumping money into helping education. It is phenomenal what the government do. You can only but thank the government for hard work. Support, the police force, all the legal authorities that are helping us day in, day out. All you can do is congratulate and take their hat off and be, overwhelmed that we're in such a great world with great support. Tutoring, often in small groups, will be targeted at those considered most in need of support, particularly the disadvantaged and will not available for all pupils. The EPI, which warned primary schools had lost up to 2 months of learning in regard to 3 months in maths, said that extra funded amounted to £50 per pupil per year, a tenth of what it estimated was needed. The support was low then in the countries, said the think tank, with catch-up fund in England, including early announcements worth £310 per pupil over 3 years, compared to £1,600 in the United States and £2,500 in the Netherlands. Parents' view: the day is long enough. Elizabeth, mother of two from Worcester, welcomed the idea of more help for children in classes. I want children to be supported in school and extra teachers, and the children split in smaller groups with additional classroom support is always going to be a good thing. But she does not want children to be put under too much pressure. We don't want to cram in the curriculum. We want children to enjoy learning and not put pressure on pupils or teachers to do more in the school day. This gives you that overwhelming consent, that heartwarming feeling that your children are going to be looked after. If the day is extended to 4:30 p.m, they could come home, have their tea, do their homework, and there would be very little downtime. I did read some of the plans may have included after school clubs like music. That's a good thing, but not to do more curriculum learning. There had been reports the recovery plan would be much bigger and include a longer school day, but funding for any further catch-up proposals will now depend on next spending review. But Education Secretary Gavin Wilson told BBC Radio 4's Today programme that an extended school day is very much still on the agenda. I'm just going to play this little cast for a minute. See what Gavin Wilson
Well, as I said, there's many schools that actually deliver a longer school day and children seem to benefit from it. So I think there's a real strong case for doing it. And that's why I have been and will continue to remain enthusiastic at looking at all the different ways of how we expand the way children are able to be in school, not just in terms of the academic, but also in terms of the enrichment as well. And that for me is important. I see the benefits directly, and I think it's really important that we do the work to make the case to see how we can do that. And there's already many schools right across the country that deliver an expanded school day, but up until this point, we've not actually pushed it as hard as maybe we should have done. And if you look at our school days, and I accept that for my case this is going back many years, but actually it's areas such as for school lunch. In my day it used to be an hour long, and actually you're able to do sports and other activities during that time, and often in many schools that's been condensed down to half an hour, and I'm not sure if that always delivers the very best for pupils. So it's really important that we do a full review on this. We look at the different options that there are as to how feasible it is to deliver it, and that's what we're doing.
Mr. Gavin Willison, thank you very much. That was amazing. After the weather funding was less than required, Mr. Willison said the catch-up plan was based on evidence of what works, and that tutoring does actually deliver and should not be the preserve of a few. He had the 1.4 billion was a pretty hefty amount and would have a direct impact on children. Suggestions of shorter summer holidays were no longer being considered, said the Education Secretary. Pupils' view end the uncertainty. The hesitation over plans for an extended school day would not have been seen in as much as a loss to sixth formers at St Wilfrid's Catholic School in Crawley, West Sussex. They wanted a return to normality and certainty after so much upheaval, rather than adding extra hours, which could leave students tired rather than inspired. It feels like the pandemic as a constant pressure and uncertainty, said Caitlin, a Year 12 student. The most important thing the government could give us as a student is clarity, and clarity early on and not just a few moments before we're due to take the exams, says Catherine, expecting to take her A-levels next summer. The pupils were delighted to be back in the classroom in March rather than relying on an online classroom. And if tutoring is going to be provided, They want it to be in person rather than online. Catch up star. The BBC has learned much bigger and ambitious plan costing just over 10 billion. Will still under discussion between the government departments as recently as last week. But this was rejected by the Treasury. Sources close to the talk said the Treasury was reluctant to sign off on such a big upfront commitment. In response, a Whitehall source said, "It's right both for children and the taxpayer that we know what we're buying before we spend." Education Recovery, TSR, Sir Kevin Collins had previously talked of the importance of extra teaching hours, including for sports, music and arts. There were reports we had proposed of a 15 billion recovery package, but had said the tutoring and teacher training announced represented evidence-based support to a significant number of our children and teachers. But Sir Kevin added that more will be needed to meet the scale of the challenge. Funding battle. Jeff Barton, leader of the ASCL Head Teachers Union, said the government's response was hugely disappointing and shows a failure to recognise the scale of learning loss. There has obviously been a battle behind the scenes over funding for education recovery, said Mr. Barton. With settlement much lower than anticipated, where is the funding for drama and music, sport and development? Asked Mary Bousted, co-leader for the National Education Union, who added, rarely has so much been promised and so little delivered. Paul Whiteman, leader of the National Association of Head Teachers, said the announcement was a damp squib. An education recovery cannot be done on the cheap. But the heads of the unit leader welcomed that there was no plan to extend the school day, which could have caused an issue for more harm than good. Labour's Education Secretary Kate Green said the announcement makes a mockery of the Prime Minister's claim that education is a priority. Labour's recovery proposal included breakfast clubs and mental health support, as well as tutoring and teacher development. An analyst by Bronwen Jeffries, education editor. This is not a plan on a scale anyone imagined what the Prime Minister pointed at an advisor, Sir Kevin Collins, shape bold recovery ideas for England schools. In February, Sir Kevin told me in his first interview a broad vision was urgently needed. From the outset, he made clear schools might need extra hours, not just for learning, but for sport, music and other activities pupils have missed. People close to the government said that even last week the plans being discussed were ambitious, costing more than 10 billion. But the Treasury, according to these sources, it balked at the cost of their own on the core funding for tutoring, which is backed by research evidence. Schools, it seems, will have to take their chances alongside other priorities in the big spending review this autumn. I just want to thank everyone so much for tuning in today.
Professor Johnson joined.
Oh, yeah, the sun is shining. Get out there and enjoy the sun. Thank you all for actually come together at PNG. It's just a short show today. Make sure you subscribe, and we do have a YouTube channel, Proclamation News and Gatherence also. So I just want to say, take care. God bless. Make sure you apply sun cream if you get out in the sun also.